Hello everyone, and again, this is one of those videos where I am going to give my thoughts and opinions on either rumors or things that are going on in the backstage side of wrestling. Now, the rumor, this one is a rumor that I'm addressing, or basically giving my opinions and thoughts on. And that is the potential for the WWE bringing back the brand split. The rumor mill has been kind of rolling around ever since Shane McMahon came back, and they announced a match with the Undertaker. And if Shane wins, he garners control of Monday Night Raw. So rumors have been going around, and some stuff has even come out in the terms of like potential action figures or maybe mistypings that happened on tickets or something in that sense that potentially say that the brand split may be coming back. Now, for all intents and purposes, I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Mainly because of the aspects behind the areas of the last brand split. It kind of became stagnant after a while. And I'm not sure if it was because of the actual writing teams or anything like that. They were brought together or anything in that sense. But it kind of became pointless. It didn't feel like there was a competition going on, which is the aspect of the brand split, that they're trying to create competition amongst the company. So in that sense, things that they would have to do to make the brand split work again. Two creative teams. One for Raw, one for SmackDown. They have to be separated. Number two, you have to actually, either build the new stars or keep the star power equal on each side and let the people choose which one they want to watch, instead of just going in the aspect it's like, oh, we need to put everything on Monday Night Raw type areas. Now, if they can do that, and if they create certain things that create actual competition, let's say if they do the draft again and everything like that, they could do something with the Survivor Series that says, hey, the winner, you have a SmackDown team and you have a Raw team. You can technically throw NXT in there if you wanted to, but it would be more Raw versus SmackDown. And it's like the winner of this Survivor Series match will get the first pick of the next draft or something in that sense. And, you can create the competition through that side of everything. And it would be very, very interesting to see how they would do it if they decided to go this route again. Now, that is, a remainder to be seen of what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. Because the other rumor mill is that Shane is not, is only signed as a performer with the company, not an executive or anything like that. He's only signed with the company through WrestleMania. And no rumors of him being around afterwards. So that throws that logistics out there, and that logistical thing out there and everything. Now, Grant, there's an easy way of writing around that. Shane is in control of Raw. He puts in a general manager. He puts in a babyface general. We'll just say a babyface general manager. Something that would initiate what you would say would be the changes that Shane would want in the Monday Night Raw program. And then you have like either Triple H and Stephanie running SmackDown or Vince running SmackDown or something in that sense, seeing where they want to go with all of that in there. And the good thing about the brand split is if you have two different creative teams, that creative team is only coming up with enough programming for that one particular show each week. So they're more focused on the stars that they have, the storylines that they have, and now they, instead of having to write for, let's say for 5 hours of the programming for the week, they have Raw had the 3 and SmackDown would have the 2. Now that's the other portion of it. Do they potentially lower Raw back down to 2 hours? Will they be able to get out of that because the best way of doing it would probably be both shows having the same amount of time, and would they be able to get out of that third hour and not necessarily have to do it anymore? The answer to that question is more than likely no. So, like these rumor mills that have been going on around with the brand split, it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Though there are a few things saying, "Hey, they could do this, they could do that." It's been making everyone's head spin. It's like, "Hey, they could do the brand split again," or "Hey, they could do this, and this to make it work." And I threw a few things out there that would kind of make that work in that sense. But logistically, do I think it will actually happen? I don't think so. It all depends on how Shane is supposed to be, storyline written after WrestleMania, if he's even going to be with the company. I mean, if he could do the whole aspect of, setting up a general manager and making appearances when he needs to actually make an appearance. Because, like I said, you can set up a babyface general manager on Monday Night Raw. They do it in NXT, and all the authority figure does is come out there to make announcements. They're not doing anything like Triple H and Stephanie or anything in that sense, where there's like, not only are they coming out there making announcements about matches and everything, but they're also doing everything in their power to hold people down as heel authority figures. So you can set that up really easily because they're already doing it over in NXT. William Regal, he's the general manager. They have William Regal as the general manager of NXT, and literally the only times you really ever see him is when he has to make a close decision based off of a controversial ending, or if he's making an announcement. That's literally it. That's all he does in that sense, and that would be at least more refreshing to see on Monday Night Raw right now, as a face general manager instead of the heel authority figure. It really would be at least a change of pace that probably is needed at this point in time, that the authority figure doesn't get in the way of the superstars' storylines and everything in that sense. And like I said, they don't not having to make that many appearances unless they're making an announcement or they're talking to one of the superstars and about a potential match that's coming up or something in that sense. So you don't see too much of it in the end there. But like I said, overall, I don't think WWE's going to actually do it. Like, there was one sector of a particular, I think it was a May date for tickets, that said WWE versus Raw, or Raw versus WWE, or something in that sense, which it ended up just being a mistype, and everything ended up being fixed in the end to WWE Monday Night Raw. And like I said, there's also been marketing stuff that's come out that has people like action figures that are like, hey, this is for the SmackDown brand, hey, this is for the Raw brand, but they also had NXT and Legends and Divas on there as well. So I mean, we'll see how they decide to go with everything in the end. Like I said, these are rumor mills, and it does lead to a little bit of excitement and everything, but you have to wait, and in this case you have to literally wait and see what are they doing with Shane at WrestleMania. Is he winning the match? If Undertaker's winning the match, then there's no reason for anything. But if Shane wins the match, then it kind of throws everything into this tailspin. Are they going to do the brand split completely, or is it going to be an area like it's just complete control over everything in that sense? Like I said, he says it would be controlling Monday Night Raw, which would say if he wins, brand split's possibly coming. Now, do I think it's a good thing? Looking at the last brand split, no, it's not. Looking at the last brand split, it's not a good thing, because they can never get, especially more towards the end, you can never get that true competition between everything. Like you had when like Paul Heyman was in control of not Raw but SmackDown on as the writing team, and Stephanie was in control of Raw as a in the SmackDown writing team as well. It's like they tried to compete for a little while, but then it just kind of melded all together. Not to mention, the last time that they did the brand split, they ended up doing these brand split pay-per-views where it was only a Raw brand or a SmackDown brand, and those ended up being some of the worst pay-per-views known to man, known to the WWE. In every sense of the word. Just like I said, this is more thoughts and opinion of how how everything would work, but also more opinion on would it be a good thing. And based off the last one, no. Based off of what they could potentially do, they can make something work and make it better than the last brand split, and maybe even make it feel like you're going more towards a competition between Raw and SmackDown in some way, and they would have to do that with certain pay-per-views. Also, the pay-per-view brand splits, like the separate pay-per-views for like only SmackDown and Raw, cannot happen in any way. Because like I said, with the depleting roster as it is, like they had a much bigger roster back then, and they have a depleting roster now, and the pay-per-views that they produced that were Raw only or SmackDown only didn't come off very good at all in any way, shape, or form. It just did not really work, and it only ended when the ECW brand got their own separate pay-per-view, when WWE ECW's brand got the December to Dismember, which was just atrocious, an atrocious pay-per-view. Was there that they decided to stop that altogether, and you'd only have certain enough matches for Raw, SmackDown, and still at that time the WWE ECW for every sense of the word. And I mean, you'll have to wait and see what they decide to do. In this case, I would not be in favor of the brand split happening again, just because the last one just all became one thing. It still felt like one thing. And there's one other thing that they could probably do to try to change it, and that would be shoot the actual show in a different way. You have Raw that's set up for this particular way, and then you have SmackDown that's shot in a completely different fashion. And then maybe that gives a true area of, oh, they're trying to be different with this in some way. But you have to wait and see what they decide to go off and do here. So, again, guys, that was me. This is me just addressing and giving my thoughts and opinions on the rumor mill that's been going out there about the brand split potentially coming back. Do I think it would be a good thing? Because I just don't think they would be willing to take the risk and do different camera shootings and have a different production team, not to mention having a completely different creative team on one show versus another show and everything like that. I just don't think they would be really very willing to take that kind of a risk and go out there and do that. And and again, this is another one of those in this series of me attempting to give my thoughts and opinions on some of the backstage stuff that's happening inside of the WWE or inside of wrestling in general. I thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.